Welcome back to Witty TV. In this episode we've got a couple of our neoprene suppliers from Japan who have popped over to visit. So we thought we'd take them out and show them some of the amazing winter diving that we can have here in New Zealand. First on the target list was a nice fat winter kingfish. Initial signs were good with big schools of Koheru zipping around. I wasted no time picking up a couple of these Koheru to have for sashimi for lunchtime. As with their soft flesh, they can be really nice raw when fresh. Eventually I found a nice pressure point where there was a big upwelling of pink maomao. Oddly enough, pink maomao are actually a grouper species and one of the few that we can easily target in shallow water. They make for some fantastic eating, so are hard to resist when I find them. The new Witty hardtop float boat is so easy to use in these conditions and very quick to get your fish in and out of. I gutted that pink maomao to see what else might come in, as there was plenty of snapper floating around. Sure enough, it was mobbed by these nice snapper. I tried my best to anticipate the snapper movement, but got it wrong this time. But the plan was to look for some snapper later in the day, so I might as well take this opportunity to get a few pink maomao. Something to take note of when spearfishing is this is a sure sign that the tide's about to change. These blue maomao and demoiselles are making their way from one side of the rock to the other and preempting the tide change. Always follow the fish. Sure enough, the schoolfish appeared next, but they're so spooky in this winter water. Amazing that only 10 minutes ago there was no fish here, and all of a sudden this big school of pink maomao and snapper appeared from the depths. I thought about having a crack at this small snapper, but I think it might just be marginal.
Give it a couple of dives, all the fish are pushed up there now. There's a whole heap of good snapper and pinkies and stuff.
Finally, a nice fat winter kingfish makes an appearance, and I spot it from the surface. They can be quite spooky in wintertime in the cold water, so I'm doing my best to sneak up on it. But you can tell by its body language that it's quite unsure about approaching me, and it's keeping its distance. I make a move to try and intercept it, but it's on to me. The fish are really starting to pile up over this drop-off. I take a short time on the surface and get back down there and hope that that kingfish still might be around. This snapper will just have to do, as I need to take my opportunities. When hitting a fish badly like this and it beginning to tear, it can be normal to think just to play the fish softly and let it run. But you actually want to do the opposite. You want to keep that flopper open and engaged against the fish. So I'm holding the pressure on it to get it to the surface quickly before it tears too much. Like a hook, if you let it go too softly, the flopper can close or the fish can swivel on the spear and tear itself off. The poor Japanese fellows were starting to get a little seasick with the swell, so it was soon time to move.
Maybe I'll do one more dive. I saw a good keggy on the dive before. I'm not sure. Long enough. Just pink maomao. Oh, granddaddy half of it.
When targeting kingfish in wintertime, you really need to be diving the most premium country, looking for that high concentration of bait fish and fish and good current. Tide and current flow is one of the most important things when spearfishing New Zealand. This drop-off's got nice tidal flow and plenty of demoiselles, a likely looking spot for a kingfish. Back on the surface, a nice fat one approaches me. But as mentioned, they can be so spooky in wintertime, and my ears clog up and I can't equalise. So I quickly get back to the surface to clear my sinuses and get back down. I need to try get deeper in the water column and get closer to its level. Simply swimming at this fish would likely be unsuccessful. Soon one of those kingfish appear through that beautiful dark winter water. Having already seen a bronze whaler today, I know I need to quickly land this fish before I have any shark problems. After a short, straightforward fight, I managed to secure the kingfish and quickly bleed it. Now that I've got my kingfish, it's time to gut it and use that guts and try and burley in a snapper. Some of the bits begin to sink down and a nice trevally comes straight in. Once in my float boat, I go and put the kingy guts down off a nice looking drop off in hopes that some snapper might come in. Drifting down into the current, I notice a nice bronze whaler shark. A good sign, as often there'll be snapper hanging around with them and they'll tend to drop their guard. This snapper allows me to get right up to it. And if you look carefully, there's actually a really, really big snapper cruising around with that shark. But I'm more than happy with this fish. Check out the quality difference between using the GoPro that I'm using on my head and daring using the DJI. That DJI is picking up so much more colours in that low light underwater. We keep working that drop off in hopes of maybe picking up another pink maomao or snapper and just enjoying that beautiful clean winter water. Making one last dive on the drop off, we spot a nice big pink maomao parked up. And I adjust my angle to try use the rock for cover to get closer to the fish. This variation of pink maomao is so beautiful, and we often refer to them as super pinkies. They get all those vibrant colours and that black mottling on the back. I'm still unsure why they go like this, but there's normally one or two of them in every school. Being a short day, it was time to head into some shelter to eat some of the fresh fish that we just caught. A beautiful spot to have lunch. It was great to show our Japanese friends some of the amazing winter diving that we can have in New Zealand, and they get to see how their neoprene is used while we're spearfishing.